All right, so these are some tense markers that we haven't talked about yet, and and mainly because they're kind of understood oftentimes. But we'll just go ahead and say them now, just because these are things that you'll see like in the Tusipaia when we get into that exercise. Se'i is like a suggestive tense marker. It's a command, but it's like just suggesting. So if I say se'i mato, this should have a fatma mafa over the o, so that's like a plural go. And then esse is like away, and then so we go away from my tangata uma. So that's our preposition. All of this is our location from everyone. So we go away from everyone. So let us, that you can kind of translate that as sei. Sei can be like let us, mato, sei mato o, esse my tangata uma. So let's get away. Let's get away from everybody. You'll hear this in like, maybe some love songs. You'll probably hear something like that because it's like a polite way to make a command. So sei, instead of sa and all of our other tense markers, te, or lo'o and all of that, we're saying sei. So I'm telling you right now, let's get away from everybody. But I'm being nice about it, or I'm being like I'm trying to be romantic or whatever. So sei mato esse mai tingatuma. Let's get away from everybody. All right, and then yeah, yeah. So this is like right now, like do it. And I know you all heard this. When mom tells you with the slipper to do something, yeah, ave la pisi, or in this case, ave la pisi ifafu. And the computers will probably say it like that, but you might hear like la like la. Let me write it out. Like la e. So like like take the trash away over there outside. So and so it's ya ave la pisi la ifafu. Or you might just hear ave la pisi ifafu. Um, More than likely you'll probably hear with the lae, but since you guys might be doing studies on your own, they might leave the lae out. So I just want to show you both ways. So, but the thing is with the yeah, it might be omitted. A lot of times it's yeah, ave la pisi. But if you do hear the ya in front of it, that's just it's a tense marker technically. Some people just think they're just you know being assertive. Yeah, ave la pisi. No, that's actually a tense marker. Okay, so we have sei. If you're just now joining us, that's our suggestive tense marker. So it's a command, but it's like being suggestive. Sei mato o esse mai tingatuma. Let's get away from everybody. And this one right here is yeah, take the trash out. Ave la pisi la fafu. Yeah, ave la pisi la fafu. Um, so that's that one. And then fa'atoa or fa'akoa, that's like you just now for the first time. Um, finally, it's like, so it's a little bit more descriptive of a tense marker. So you won't always hear it, but just in case you do, that's what that is. Fa'atoa. And Tanu'u is to arrive. And then we all know that imato is how you say us after the action. So our action is let's just put it like this: tense, our action, and then imato, that is going to be our subject. So we, okay, pronoun we, and then to New Zealand, okay, New Zealand. I think did I do that right? So this is our location to New Zealand. So just now arriving us to New Zealand. We just got here to New Zealand. Okay. Fa'akoa ka nu'u I mako I New Zealand. Or fa'atoa ta nu'u I mato I New Zealand. So that's what those three tense markers are. Okay. And I know we usually do the class before and then we get into a quiz, but this time we're just gonna get right into this one. And it's not a bad one, so we're only going to take maybe 5 minutes. There's 11 questions here. Maybe, yeah, so 9:08 my time. Let's say 14 after we'll come back together and we'll just go over these. And like I said, we're going to do a lot of review today and next week as well. So just put the right tense marker, and this is going to lead into our next new subject. So put the right tense marker, and then we'll come back together and pause this. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the chat. I'll be. All right, so hopefully you guys got at least some of them, if not all of them done. That's but either way, we're gonna go over them together. Sorry about number 4. It's kind of pushed over here. It's actually Longo will walk home. So all we had to do is just put the correct tense marker in here. So if I were to say Carlo went, so how will we say Carlo went in Samoan?
Na alu kalo.
Now, yep. Na alu, na alu kalu. We can say na or nga. Just remember, a lot of times people will say the ends like G's. It's it's interchangeable. So nga alu kalu. So that throws sometimes it throws people off. But yeah, definitely na and nga, same. It's the same. All right. Lisa will sing. How would we say that one?
Olea pese Lisa.
Yeah, ole a pese Lisa. Ole a pese Lisa. So, and just like I said, and I'm only saying this here because I know like some Samoans they're really like sticklers for, oh, you said olea, not olea, or because I've had, that I get called out for that. But like when people are speaking really fast, like you can't hear olea, olea pese or olea pese. I mean, it's really slight. It's really slight, but so I try to make that distinction. But there is a taofi right after the le, or le a, or le a. A lot of times people just say a pese lisa. They'll just say that. But in writings like it's spelled all the way out. So olea pese lisa. Great job. All right, so it was raining. It was raining. How we say that?
Salimu.
Satimu. It was raining. So past tense, and the action was still going on. So that's like somebody is taking you back in time and they're telling you a story and they're saying at that time, Satimu, like Fafo, like it was raining outside at that time. So that's the difference between na and sa. Okay. Like number 1, na alu kalu. Kalu went. Not Kalu was going, or Kalu was he was about to go or anything like that. It's he went. He was already gone. But in this case, we're saying Satimu. So I'm taking you back to 1989, and Satimu. In this particular era, or in this story that I'm telling you, Satimu. So I started off like that, and then because it was raining at that time in my story, okay. Longo will walk home. Longo will walk home. So what's that one?
Ole a savali longo i le fale.
Yep. Or the savali longo i fale. So same thing as the number 2. It's or the or le. Awesome. Okay. So it's a future tense walk. That's all it is. Mickey's car is red. Mickey's car is red. How do we say that?
Emumu.
Mumu. Yep. So because that it is what it is. Like it is red. So mumu. It's red now. It's probably was red yesterday, but the current state of it, is just it's red. The car of Mickey. So it is red. The car of Mickey. All right. Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze here. Okay, so great. Anytime you see like is, then more than likely, and we're talking about like an adjective. An adjective is a word that describes something. So we're describing the car. The car is red. So the adjective is e. If we're our adjective and the action, So if the action is that's, it is what the action is just the current state of that person, like that person runs, they run every day, e tamoe. The person walks, e savali. So that's what the tense marker we're going to use is going to be e. So in this case, since red is the car, then it's going to be e mumu le ta'avale, because it's a red car. The boy is eating. The boy is eating.
Ua.
Okay. U'ai le tama. So okay, so if we say u'ai le tama, this would read oops. Olo'o, yeah. So it's olo'o. Thank you, Alicia. So but let's go with ua for right now. So u'ai le tama. So the boy has eaten. So it's a present tense. So in that case, you're correct. It's a present tense, but it's like you're updating somebody. Remember, like this, that's what the you is. So it's like you're updating somebody. Like the boy has eaten, u'ai le tama. But if we're saying the boy is eating at this current moment, so which is also present tense, it's also a present tense, it's gonna be like Alicia said, it's gonna be olo'o. So anytime you see a like ing with the verb, then the tense is gonna be olo'o, because it's happening right now. It's happening right now. So I is the verb, the action. The action is eat. So I. But if I say olo'o I, that means eating the boy, or the boy is eating. If I say u'ai le tama, ua is like like my kid before he went to sleep. My wife was like, what's the boy doing? Did he eat? And I said, well, I didn't tell her this, but I would have said, if she knew what I was talking about, I would say, well, I letamba, like he has eaten. He has eaten. So although it happened already, I updated her. So since I updated her, so I would say, well, I letamba, like he has eaten. He's eaten. So if you have any questions on that, let me know, because I don't want to, and because that people are confused by that. Like, even though ua is present tense, it sounds like a past tense, because although he has eaten, I'm updating you presently right now. When you ask me what he did presently, I said he has eaten. There you go. Okay, you're in there. Okay. All right. So see me is happy. And then in quotes it says for the first time. So fia see me. So what do we put right there?
Ua, fia see me.
Oh, you know what? The way that it's worded, yes, it could be yes. Ua fia see me. Yeah, ua fia see me. But then for the first time, if we say for the first time, yeah, yes. So Alicia asked, is fa'atoa and ua interchangeable? It can be, but this would be the key right here, for the first time. For the first time. So it's like you've never ever done this before, but now fa'akoa fia see me. Like this is the first time ever. So ua and fa'atoa can be interchangeable sometimes, but whenever we put like for the first time ever, and that's why I say it's a little bit more descriptive with the fa'atoa. You won't hear it all the time, but when you do, they're really emphasizing like this is the first time you ever did it. You just now know that your kids have been looking for for you. there was a movie I was watching, and the link is on, man, what is it called? The link is on our private page, the one that only you guys got access to. Tama Savai, Tama Savai. And then the lady tells the old man, she used to be married to him, and all he does is come around begging for stuff. Only time he comes around is when he wants money for fa'alave, for this and for that, right? So then she says, are you just now noticing that these are your kids? You know, so it's like, you know, fakuaye if faali, like you just now realizing that these are your kids. So it's like for the first time. So this would be the clue. So ua, to answer the question if I remember correctly, Alicia said, to answer that question, ua and fa'atua are kind of the same, but when we say for the very first time, for the first time, then that's the distinction between fa'atua. If you really want to emphasize, you're just now realizing, or you know, or you're just now seeing for the very first time, that would be the extra to it. Like I said, you're not going to hear a lot, but since we are about to do the Tusipaia next week, I do want you guys to at least know, because it's, you know, it's all through there. Like you're just now seeing, you're just now realizing, you're just now for the first time speaking when you should have been speaking, you know. So this one right here is going to be fa'atua or fa'akua. Probably should have typed it out. Wow. All right, Hannah will sleep.
Olea.
Ole a, yep, ole a, ole a moi Hannah, or ole a moi Hannah. Okay, great. That's great. So that's all it is. What you say is gonna happen in the future, ole a. If it's gonna happen in the past, nah. If it's in the past and then you're you know, the action is still going on, it's sa. If it is what it is, like, you know, e, like mumu, it's red. It is red. Okay. Let us pray. Suggested. It's not it's a command, but it's not like you know, pray. You know, it's like, you know, let us pray. And you'll hear this in church if you go to church.
Se'i,
Se'i, yep.
Tato, Taha.
Yep. Talu. So they would say it like that. Now, okay, so let me just bring this up because I had a lot of people ask, like, between the T and the K, right? T style, K style. When I was growing up, you know, whenever I heard T, it was always like at church, or like whenever like my auntie is talking to the Fife Owl, to the Fife Owl, the preacher, the minister, you know, they would always use like T's. They would say T, like, right? So when they say itato tatalo, so it's like you know, I would hear that in a formal way. So some people say, well, T's are formal and the K's are informal. That's the way that I grew up, you know, but everybody didn't grow up like that. So I just want to throw that out there. Like, so you might hear say ikakokalo, and then, you know, then you might hear say itato talo. I don't want to say like one is formal and one is informal, only because, you know, it's a worldwide diaspora and people will speak a different kind of ways. So like I said, when I grew up, tato, tatalo would be like how they would say it in a formal setting, but that does not apply all across the world. So if you were to say, oh yeah, T's are formal and K's are informal, everybody doesn't believe that. So you know, some people might come for you if you say that. And I'm only bringing it out because I don't want you to get attacked because I've been attacked. I know they will do that. So just know that it could be T or K. All right. Lenge or lene is fat. So something puta lene. What would be our tense marker? This is mean, but you know what? This actually came from the University of Hawaii. So this is their test.
Eh?
Yep, that's all it is. So whenever puta lene, do you know that? Yes. I didn't realize that, but yeah, it is a bad word.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that, but yeah, that's their test. They did that, so I just left it there like that. They did that. So e puta lene. I don't know what puta means. I just remember it's a bad word for their language. We're talking about Samoan though. So in Samoan it just means fat. Right. So here's a bonus question. What is the what would be the equivalent to e? We talked about this last week. I guess that's an additional. What's the equivalent to e in talking about nouns? Nouns. Oh yeah, you're right. I should have been more. But talking about nouns, if we were to say a noun, if we were to say Lene is John. Lene is also John. So Olene John. So fill in the blank John. Oh, exactly. So whenever we see so e is the equivalent to o when we're talking about nouns. So when we're talking about actions or adjectives, and adjectives is words that describe um, a noun. O is going to be like o lene. Hopefully that made sense. I probably shouldn't even brought that up. So let's do the last one. Shut your mouth. And I know everybody heard this one. But a lot of times people will drop this part. They'll just say, yeah, salapulo mu. And then you get slapped after that. So what's supposed to go here if they want to? We have kapungi. Kapungi, yep. But I mean like the tense marker. The tense marker. Yeah, you are supposed to kapungi lo if they say salapu. Yeah, exactly. So it's just a command. So if it's a command, then you'll hear ya. Okay. So ya salapulo. And then you're supposed to kapungi just like she said. So all right, so let's move on. I didn't realize they're gonna spend that much time on that, but hopefully you guys found that useful. Let's go to the next thing. All right, starting with subjects. We touched on this on the last class on Tuesday, but a lot of Americans speak like this. I don't know if it's like this in Australia and New Zealand, but what we do instead of, okay, you see right here, na ta'umai, so tense, ta'umai, like tell to me, and then who's telling it? It's gonna be the boy, right? Tense, action, subject, and then what are they telling? We have the truth. And then, some people might leave it out, and they'll say, na ta'u mai letama ile upumoni. That means a little bit different, but so na ta'u mai letama, the boy told the truth. Okay. Now, what we're doing here is that we're taking letama and we're gonna put it in the front. A lot of people in America, even in American writings, this is more like almost the way that we speak in English. So the boy or letama the boy, right? And then na ta'umai, told to me, na ta'umai. So we have, now we're starting with our subject. I won't write the rest of that out, but so the boy told to me, and then the I. I'm just gonna circle it for right now. I won't talk about it. And then the truth. The boy told to me the truth. This I right here is like a substitute. So it's like na tense and action is ta'umai action. And then there's still a tendency in the Samoan language when people are speaking to put something after the action and put a subject after the action. I'm sorry. So if we said it already, you see that we already said it. Oletama. So oletama na ta'umai. When it's already spoken, or if it's already been said, or if it's understood, there's a tendency in the Samoan language for people to say "I," for whatever reason. I have no idea, but it's like a substitute when it's already said or understood. So oletama na ta'umayai, and then the truth. Okay, so we still have our tense action and then the subject. But whenever we take that subject and we put it in the front and we set it in the front, then we substitute it with the I back here. So oletama na ta'umayai le tupumoni. The boy told the truth, or told me the truth, because we said ta'umai. Okay. I hope everybody sees that. I'm looking for questions. I don't see any. Okay. I probably should have spaced these out because this like a lot of writing on one page. Let's do another one. So if we say olo'o, that's our tense. Okay. So presently, and it's happening right now. Tu is to stand, but when we have we have more than one person doing it, it's plural, so it's tu. Maybe it should be like that. Tu mafa. So action, this is our action. So standing, and then we have leo, police. So this is who's doing the standing. So olo'o tu leo, and then iluma in front. So we know that this is going to be the action because we're starting with our preposition. Iluma o le tatofale. So the police are standing in front of our house, in front of our house, our singular house, because we said ole tatofale. So olo tutu leo ilumo ole tatofale. You do not want that to happen. And then we said now what we're doing is we're taking the leo. You see the leo, so that's our subject. All right. We move if we move that to the front, we have o leo. Why do we have o leo instead of just leo?
Because nouns always need o.
Right, exactly. So there's nothing in front of that. There's not a tense. So right here we have olo'o. We have olo'o, and that's going to carry all the way through the sentence from here to there. So we have olo'o tu leo. All right, so we have the police are standing. Olo'o tu leo. And then where are they standing? The location is Ilumo o le tatofale. But now, if we reword it, the whole purpose of this exercise is to know that you can reword things any kind of way that you want. Different parts of the world are gonna say it different kind of ways. In America, a lot of times people might say, "Oh, leo." The police are standing in front of the house. You see that? So, and this is like a lot of English speakers might say, "O leo leo olo tutu ai ilumo le tatofale." Like the police are standing in front of the house. Whereas like maybe a native Samoan speaker might say, "Olo tutu leo leo ilumo ole tatofale." Okay, so here, if we're starting with our subject, we put the subject in the front. Well, let me clear that out. We're gonna put our subject, which is leo leo, and it's multiple police. So we don't say ole leo leo, not like the police policeman or like one police. We're saying, you know, multiple police. So this is our subject. And then our tense is olo'o. Okay. Olo'o, tense. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like right now, multiple, presently, and then tutu. Tutu is our action. And then when you see this I right here, it's all it is a substitute for the subject because we already said the subject. We already said it. So when you say it in the front, sometimes, a lot of times actually, people will say it in the back. So I just want to introduce this to you because it's like, man, the police are standing and eating. No, it's not eating. Like it's like tutuai iluma or litato fale. So this, all of this right here is our location in front of our house, letato fale, the singular house of ours. Okay, so oleo leo olo tutuai iluma letato fale. Okay. And that's just something that just takes practice because, like I said, we did tense, action, subject, you know, location. Then we did tense, subject, and then the action and the location. Now we're talking about subject first. Okay, and it's really just about how you want to word things, you know. So I just wanted to introduce all of that kind of stuff to you guys. All right. So let's do a couple of examples. We got 20 minutes. The preacher was sleeping inside of the church. So Fai'eau is going to be our preacher. Moi is to sleep. And then Falesa is going to be church. So how will we word that? The preacher was sleeping inside of the church. We can do it either, it doesn't matter how you want to do it. We can do it tense, action, subject, or we can start with our subject. But the way that we're trying to word it is we're starting with our subject. So whoever wants to say that one.
Ole Faife'au sa moi I totonu ole falesa.
Yes, ole Fai'eau. Ole Fai'eau. Okay.
Oh, sa moi ai, maybe.
Yep. So we have Ole Fai'eau. So this is the preacher, and then was sleeping. So so if I'm telling you a story, I'm like, man, the preacher at 9:42 or 7:42, whatever, 42 after the hour, you know, Ole Fai'eau sa moi.
Could it be like Samuel le Faifeau Totonu?
Exactly. Yeah, it could be that way too. But in this case, we're starting with the subject. It you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're exactly right. It is that. A lot of people will say that. But what we're doing now is we're just reconstructing the sentences. That's it. We're saying the same thing, we're just reconstructing it. So, and I'll reword it like that right after this. So Ole Fai'eau, the preacher, Samoy was sleeping, and then inside of the church. How do we say the rest of that?
Ai I totonu
Oops.
ole falesa.
Yep. I le. Oh, I'm sorry. I le tonu ole falesa. That's what you said, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. So we have the preacher, Ole fa'afe'au, and then was sleeping, Samoy, and then the I. So Samoyai. It's because, and the I, again, that's there because we already said ole fa'afe'au. For some reason, there's a tendency, if you said it or it's understood, that the I comes right after the action. Ole fa'afe'au, Samoyai. And then I totonu, inside of the church. Or you might even hear lae, so ole fa'afe'au, Samoyai, lae I totonu ole falsa. Like over there inside of the church. Okay. And then I forgot who said it, but if we wanted to say it the other way, if we wanted to lead with our tense and our action, a lot of people would say it this way as well. But you said Samoy. Yep, Samoy. So was sleeping, and then le fa'afe'au, fa'afe'au. And then we don't have to say yai because we never did mention the fa'afe'au, so it's kind of like not understood. We're just now introducing who was sleeping, and we're saying le fa'afe'au. So Samoy le fa'afe'au, lai did I mess up the last part? Lai tonu o le fale sa. So was sleeping, the preacher over there. You don't necessarily have to have that, but a lot of people do say it like that. Lae, and then inside of the church, the preacher was sleeping over there inside of the church, and then over here we start with our subject, ole fa'afe'au. And the reason why we have to say ole fa'afe'au, at least in the writings, because there's no tense in front of it. When people are speaking, they might just say le fa'afe'au sa moyai, laile oh yeah, this should not be right there. I totonu. I missed that one up. I'll just write the whole thing over. So ole fa'afe'au, samoyai. Okay, so the preacher was sleeping. The I again is here because we already said ole fa'afe'au. And that's just what Samoans do. We just, if after the action, we say the subject. If we already said the subject, then we say yai. Okay, ole fa'afe'au, samoyai. And then the rest of it is going to be the same. Over there, lae I totonu ole fale sa. And then they might abbreviate it and just say ile fale sa. They might take that out. There's several different ways you can say the same thing. Okay. All right. I didn't realize it's taking so much time. Which one would be the best one? Which one you guys want to do? We did this one. Let's do one more and then we'll go to the next topic. You have walked into the wrong house. Let's do that one. All right. Anyone have this one? So if we say have walked, we can do it a different kind of way. Have walked. So it's like when you see have or has, use singular. Oh yeah, okay. Either one, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So yeah, let's go with use singular. So you, one person, you have walked into the wrong house. Sorry guys, my allergies are so bad right now. Don't come to the Midwest if you Samoan, like if you got West Coast or Samoan like nostrils, don't come over here. You have walked into the wrong house. So if you have walked or you has walked is ua. So I'm updating it like you have walked into the wrong house. You came up to my you have walked. So that's our tense. So ua. Right. So then walk is gonna be over here. Savali. Savali. Ua savali. So have walked. And then what will come after that? Oh yeah, it's bad over here. Oh man, I almost canceled class because I'm like, it's real bad for me right now. Ua savali. And then you. What would be the you coming after the action? Ua savali. So we have our tense, action, and then if we have our tense and our action, then after that, the action is going to be the subject because we haven't said the subject. We could have said
Yeah, it would be oi.
oi,
Oi.
right? Oi, exactly. So we could say we could say ua savali oi, or we could say ua e savali. Either way. So there's several ways to state stuff. You know, just like in English, we could say it several different kind of ways. So you know, there's just many ways to say it. So you have walked and then into the wrong house. So we have ua savali oi. So you have walked. I'll just go ahead and say it because we don't have that much time. So this will be the simplest way to say it. Of course, there's other way to say it. Le, and then what? Wrong house. How we say it? Wrong house.
Ile fale se.
Yes, thank you. So fale se. Okay, so fale is house, and then we have wrong. All right. So if this is your first time, I think there's a couple people here for the first time. And in Samoan, we say the adjective after what we're describing. So we say instead of wrong house, we say house wrong. House wrong. So ua savali oi I le fale se. Now, this is the correct way to say it, but if we're going to say it a different kind of way, because now we want to start with the subject. We want to start with the subject. So how do we start with the subject if we want to say, let me copy this and go to the whiteboard. How do we restate the same thing? But we want to start with our subject. Oh, first of all, what is our subject? Oi, yep. Oh, yep. Okay, so here we go. Oh, we got the whole thing. I was reading the wrong stuff. So we have, okay, our subject is oi. So when we take this subject, oi, and then we take it and put it in the front, okay? So if we were to say you, and we just want to say, who did that? Who is it? And it stands by itself, oi, like you, right? And then if we ever wanted to start our, if we wanted to start a subject, I'm sorry, a sentence with a subject, all we do is we take this, the same thing. We don't have to change it to e or nothing like that. We take that and put it in the front, or oi. So subject, let me write it out. This is our subject. Then we have our tense, which is ua. Our action is savali. Okay. And then again, we already said oi. So if you hear the I, you won't always hear it, but you know, you probably always will read it though, because people know that if you say it, if you said it already, like right here, then the substitute for that is going to be right there. Right. So I'll just put S squared. Right. So we said this already up in the front. So oi or savaliai, and then our location, tense, action, subject, and then our location is ilefale sese. In the wrong house, to the wrong house. You have walked to the wrong house. So tense, action, subject to, and then location. And the reason why it's like subject to like substitute the I is because we started our sentence off and we said o'oi usaba the I y le falecese. Okay. I don't see any questions. Okay. Can I go back to? All right, so all right, we'll leave that one right there. If you guys got any questions, I actually start the next class with this part right here because I know this is new. Every time we come back every couple of weeks, we did tense, action, subject, location. Then we did tense, subject, action, location, and time. And now we're starting with a subject. So I know it can be confusing, but we do the same thing in English. We do the same thing in English. Except here we're learning it in 8 weeks. So I get it. Verbs as nouns. We might stop right here. Oh no, we'll stop at the next slide. So verbs as nouns. So a lot of times you'll know a noun. I'm sorry, a verb like amata or amaka is to start, right? But if you just add a GA on the end of just about any action word or any noun verb, if you add a GA on just about any verb or any action, it turns into a noun. So amata is start, okay? But amatanga is the beginning, okay? So to start like an action, I'm going to start the class. E amata le vasenga. Right? So start the class. But if I say ole amatanga, I'm saying at the beginning. At the beginning. So beginning is going to be amatanga. All I did was just add the GA. Same thing with ta'alo. Ta'alo is to play. All right. If I say e ta'alo, to play, but if I say ta'alonga, so I put a GA at the end of ta'alo, now it means the game. These are one of those things they don't always translate one to one. So play is ta'alo, but then the game is ta'alonga. All right. Ngalue, this is the one I got confused with a lot of times. So ngalue is to work. Ngalue, that's to work. Ngaluenga is a job. If I wanted to say the job, I would say ole ngaluenga. If I say a job, ose ngaluenga. If I say my job, I would say olau ngaluenga. Right? So there's several ways to say it, but ngaluenga by itself is going to be job. If I say fai ngaluenga, that's like to do a job, to do a job. That was like one of the biggest things that got me confused. Fai ngaluenga. So fai ngaluenga, do a job. So you're doing a noun. So the action is doing the noun. All right. So ngalue to work. Ngaluenga, the job, a job, and then fai ngaluenga is to do a job. All right. I don't see any questions on that. So, and then the last one, I'll do this last one, and then we might review these last couple of slides on Tuesday. Fia. I know you probably heard fia I, fia moi, fia alu, fia, fia this, fia that, fia that. Fia usually follows, I'm sorry, goes in front of an action. So, ote fia I, like I presently want to eat. Ote fia I. Ete, you fia I. Latote, like they want to eat. So fia I. All right, so when we say fia, like want, is followed by an action. All right. If fia moi, moi is to sleep. So want to sleep. And then lo mato tama, our father. Our father. That should have a papa mapa over it. Tama. If fia moi lo mato tama, our father wants to sleep. E fialu lo utina ma'au. Our mother, I'm sorry, my mother, and then wants to go with me. E fialu lo utina ma'au. My mother wants to go with me. So it's an action behind all of these, the fia, I, fia, moi, fia, alu. Now, when we talk about mana'o is also to want, but it's like, remember when we talked about the different kind of wants? One want, you know, there's a want, I'm sorry, there's an action that goes to a location. That's mana'o. So ote mana'o, okay, and since it's going to a location, e says sapsui. I want some sapsui. This one right here is sa ia mana'o. So he or she was wanting some help, wanting the help. Ile fesosoanina. Okay, so they were wanting some help. She or he was wanting some help. You know what? I'm gonna go over this slide again. I didn't realize I was taking so much time with all of this. Hopefully, you guys are getting these concepts. We'll actually start here on for next week. If you guys have any questions, just hang around. If not, Manuel Po, Manuel Aso. If you're on the other side of the world, thank you guys for hanging out. You guys are doing great, actually, because